Hello there guys, I'm Wesley88 here, and today we're going to do a beginner's guide for Storage Hunter Simulator. So, the few things we're going to cover is the basics of the game for the tutorial. We'll cover the auctions, we're going to cover a bit about the chests, we'll cover parts about the shop, where to find a few loose items to make some money, so that you can get through the tutorial within at least 90 minutes. There's a few things we're not going to cover, which is the collectors, the epic items, and blind auctions. Anyway, so without further ado, let's get on with the video. So, when you decide to start your first game, obviously you have three difficulties: easy, normal, and hard. Now in easy mode, you have less risk of losing money from an auction, but you don't get any renown for it. If you take part in a hard mode, you do have a greater chance of actually making a loss from that auction. But if you win the auction, you get 30% renowned. So for this video, I am going to be doing a hard mode. All of this will still work on normal and easy mode, but you may need to do a few more auctions on easy mode because of your renowned or reputation. So we're going to choose hard mode. Okay, so we now have our character customization. So we can obviously choose between a female and a male. Now unfortunately we can't change the outfits that they have, but we can buy other outfits later on. Obviously for our characters we can change the face, the skin tone, the eye colour, the hairstyle, and the hair colour. But for the male characters, you get to put facial hairstyles, so basically the beards, and change the colours. Now for this video, I am going to play as a female character. Now that we're loaded into the map, as you can see on the left hand side of the screen, it mentions to open the tablet, we have to press the tab button. And on the top right hand side of the screen, obviously it says first auction. Open your tablet and sign up for auctions in Blueberry. Okay. So we'll hit tab, and as you can see, we have quite a few icons. Unfortunately, our tools at the moment are locked, but they will unlock later on. So for now, we are going to go into auctions. Now at the minute, we only have 2 available, though at the moment, 1 because of the time. You will have more later on through the tutorial, but sometimes you can have 4. I think you can have about maybe 5 max. I have noticed it where you only get 1 for village people sometimes for the tutorial. It does happen. Now, just so you know, the opening price is not how much you pay to take part in the auction. This is what the starting bid starts at. Okay, so don't worry. So, it is a level 1 because obviously we've only just started, so we're going to sign up. Now, as you can see, there is an icon on our screen indicating where our auction is taking place at. This will go for any auction you decide to take part in. But if we go to your map, which you can press M or you can go through your tablet, it is not on the map. Now we know it's Blueberry Village for our auction, so it's going to be over here. So I am going to put a waypoint for that for myself. It's up to you if you want to or not. Now, obviously we have 2 garages. One is actually our warehouse, so we can store some items for later on. And the other is our actual garage for our vehicles. Or in this case, vehicle. So I'm going to get that out. We are now going to enter our vehicle, and I'm going to drive to the auction site, so I'll see you guys once I get there. Okay, so we've now made it up to our auction. Now, I will go over this quite quickly. If you don't go to your tablet to take part in the auctions this way, you can always drive it to the location, come up to the board, and you can then say that you want to take part in the auction from the board. So as you can see, the guys are all standing here, and there is a green circle. Now to start the auction, you have to step into the green circle. Now, there is a slight bug. I think they have patched it, but it does happen very rarely now and again, where you'll enter to take part and nothing happens. You just can't do anything. So let's see if this happens. It is very rare. No. So we know that it hasn't happened because it says on the bottom of the screen, press space to begin bidding. If you do not see that, it will tell you to, well, you're going to have to hold the X to leave. Usually before going in, I would suggest saving it, so then when you come back, it should be fixed. It does happen very rarely, but it is a slight known bug. Hopefully they'll fix it real soon. So we're going to have a quick look at what's inside our auction. We do have a few normal condition items, which is good, which means we can make some money. So we're going to press start to start the bidding. And as you can see on the top of the screen, starting bid was 157. Now you can always press left click on the thing to make a bid, or you can always press E. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it gets down to here in this bar, because when it gets to around here I know I can take part in the auction, because if not I'm just adding more money to it than what I need to. Take part. He bids. Is anyone else going to try and bid? No?
Okay.
And we won. First auction won. Now, just to let you know, sometimes you'll spend a bit more money, sometimes you'll spend a bit less than what we just have. So, now what we have to do is verify the items. But before I do that, I'm going to remove all the instant sell items because it's just junk. Now, depending on the difficulty, it depends how much more junk you'll have, and we have a chest which is unlocked. Awesome. That saves us one job. So I'm going to verify all these items real quick, and did we not get anything rare in here? That is weird, because usually we get one rare item. Now, just to let you know, most of the time, I'm going to say most, you should always win your first auction, and there should always be a profit. And I'm actually surprised I didn't get the thing I was hoping for. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to leave you here. Right, so what I'm going to do is anything that is normal, good, or perfect quality, I'm now going to take to the shop to sell our items. Anything that is bad or broken, I will not. There is a reason for this, and you'll understand why I suggest not selling anything bad or broken, especially within this video. Okay, so I'll put that on there. Let me grab you as well, which I didn't verify for some weird reason. And as you can see, we have made, with the items that we are going to be mostly selling, made a bit of profit. And I'm going to double check, make sure that everything in here is verified, and get things stored for later on, for when we can actually fix them up. Good, you did shot that time. Right. So, we're going to quickly go to the shop, which isn't too far from where we're at. It's just literally around the corner. So, now that we're at the shop, we'll get out and we'll quickly sell these items. So, because they will have a thumbs up, we know that they are normal. If you have a star, they're good quality, and if there's a diamond, they are perfect quality. So we are going to sell all of these. And we've completed that step. Now, what we need to do is earn a grand. Fun! So, first things first, we're going to go back to our lot that we just won. We're going to put everything into the back of our boot. And we are going to take it back to our starting point, or our home. Or trailer. Depends how you want to look at it. And then I'll see you there. Now, before we do leave, when we're inside our thing, I know we may pick them up. I'm going to press Alt real quick, or hold it. Verifies we've got 2 items up there. We do not have anything underneath the ground. If, for some reason, when you're inside and it showed that there was an item underneath the ground, save the game and reload it, or reload your save, because then it will unglitch that item and you'll get it back. Anyway, so I'm going to head back home. I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so we've now made it back home safe and sound. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place these items in my storage. Or you can always go up to here and say store all items. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go inside our house. And as you can see, we've got a few items that says take or move. Now, what you can do is you can press F, and anything that is in your warehouse, you can actually place around your home. That's if you want to design it a little bit. Now, it won't show it as being broken or bad condition. It'll show it as being perfect. Though, when you put it back in your storeroom, you can check to see what quality it actually is. Right, so there are going to be a few items that we will be moving. And there'll be a few items, as you can see, I am not going to be moving, because these items are actually a bit better in rarity and condition. So we'll throw them. I will not be putting the bathroom stuff, but I will move that into warehouse real quick. So, as you can see, this item is a painting and it is rare. Now, we cannot verify anything that's rare, unique, or legendary at the minute unless we get a better verification tool. So I'll be placing it here. Now, if I did want to get that verified, I'd have to take it to an art shop. So we're going to quickly go to our map. And we're going to go to this icon here, which shows us the legendaries. It'll show us what items are where. So our experts is actually who can verify. So we've got toys and sports, equipment and military, fashion and art, so we'd have to go to art and culture, household and electronics. And if we had a chest that was locked, we'd have to take it to a locksmith's if we couldn't pick the lock. So as you can see, caliber 44 for equipment and military. Locksmith, there's actually 2 locksmiths on the map, so there's one there and one up here. Obviously, household and electronics, sports, and toys, and then artwork and fashion. So we want to take the painting, we'd have to take it to the taste of art. Just thought I'd point that out. Yeah. So we've removed all of our common items. I know I can move them 3 items as well, but I'm leaving them there. So everything in here with a question mark, we are going to get out real quick. And we are going to verify. Now all these will be normal quality. And what we're going to do is once we've got all these verified, is we're going to take them to the shop and we're going to sell them. Now you don't have to do this, but for a starter home, I kind of would recommend, especially if it's first time playing. If you play this a bit, you might know how to make a bit of extra cash on your own. But for now, we're going to sell these items. So I'm going to take a moment to get these all stacked in the back of our vehicle. And once I've got them all stacked, I will drive to the shop, and then I'll be back right with you. So I'll be a moment. Okay, so we're now at the shop, and I've stacked this as best as I can. It's probably going to fall. Yep. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the guy again. We're going to sell everything in here because it is all normal quality. And we've actually completed the first part of the task. Now, as you can see, it says buy the fixing tool. So our tools are now unlocked. So obviously verification tool. At the minute our verification is level 1, which means we can only verify anything that is common level. When we upgrade it to level 2, it will verify rare items. When we get to level 3, we can verify uniques. And when we get to level 4, we can verify legendaries. Now, in our glossary, we'll be able to see how many of that type there is. So common there's 748, rares 356, so again a verification tool for that is fine. Uniques there's 224 items, so when we have to pay for it, it's going to be worth it. But a verification tool for legendaries is only 50. Just to throw advance notice, do not get the verification tool for legendary unless you have a lot of money, because it would only cost you $750 to get them verified in total. $7,500 to get them verified in total. So yeah, it's up to you on that one. Right, so now what we're going to do is, obviously because it tells us, is to buy the fixing tool, which will be level 1. So anything that is now broken, we can fix up to bad quality. Now before we head back home, I've come by this gas station and I'm going to pick up this bag. Now, if I were to fix it up and then leave it, it would be fine. I'd come back the next day, it would probably go back down to the quality it was, but it would still be here. Now if I pick this item up, because it says new item gained, we should and have to take it with us, because if we leave it, that's money you've now lost. So you'd have to say bye to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this item back home. We're then going to go into our storage and we're going to get out a broken item to repair, so we can get past this next step real quick. Right, now that we're home, like I said, we will store the item. And for some reason, I haven't sold that, whatever that was. So put it back out so it's over here so I can find it. And we'll get one of our broken items out. And we will fix that up. So again, bad quality. Don't really want to sell that. Because it's not a normal quality like our saucepan. Which for some reason we didn't take with us. Weird. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you where some common and rare items are, which we're going to sell in our shop to make a bit of money. So we're going to go around Blueberry. I'm going to get these items quick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the location. I will literally do like a zoom in with a circle, and then I'll show you where it is, and then we'll pick it up. So I'm going to go over to the first one, and I'll be right with you when we get there. Okay, so our first item is this binocular set here. Now we're not too far from home, and just in case you guys are wondering where I am on the map, I am here. Okay, so we're just there. We're now over here. So we'll pick this up. And obviously, most of these items are going to be in perfect quality. Anyway, so let's go to the next item, which isn't too far. Okay, and our second item is right behind us, as you can tell, as the cars come out. And this is actually a rare item. Now, normally, when it comes to the rare, uniques, and legendaries around the map, you have to verify them. But because they're loose items, when you pick them up, they are auto-verified. So just in case you guys are wondering where I am on the map, I'm here at the bridge. So we're just over here. We're now down here. Just in case you guys are wondering, because that was our first rare item, we now got it clicked off. So we do not have to go and get that verified. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next location for the next item. Okay, so we are next to the police station, or behind the police station, where there is a handgun. Just in case you wonder where I'm at, I am here. Now, before I leave this location, you're going to see a tube over here. And you're going to see that there are a few bottles scattered about out here. Now, every time you sleep at one of these pipes, you'll get a few bottles. Some days it may take a bit of time, and you'll get some new ones just respawn at random. Anyway, I'm going to go to the next location for the next item that we're going to be able to get to sell. And it wasn't that far. We'll just cross the road. So there's the police station where we just got the handgun. We're at the petrol station where we've got the handbag on the other side. And here is a wheelchair. So just in case you guys are wondering, I am right here. And again, it is a rare. And just to make sure you guys can see, I have not got this verified. I pick it up. This item is now been verified. So we can save a bit of money on verification of items. So because we've got this verified, if we were to find a wheelchair or a Halloween costume, we don't have to verify them. Anyway, I'm going to get to the next location for the next item. Right guys, so we are here at the next location. It is actually at the back end of a building. So we are here on the map. So there's an entrance way here. You just go either side, come around the back, and you'll get yourself a normal TV. So there we go. Meet you in the next one. Okay, so we are here at the next one. Now, just in case, the TV was just actually down that side. So we haven't moved too far. And we are just under here. I say under here, it means underneath this bit. And there is a standing drill, which is fantastic news. Just flip that round, and I'm going to store it on there. Now, this will probably be the last time I'll get for the day in the game, because obviously it's going to start getting to night time, and I want to make sure that you guys can actually see it in daylight. So we're going to go to the shop, which isn't too far, literally just around the corner, and we're going to sell these items real quick, and for good reason. So, as you can see, we've got some perfect quality items. There is a good one, and obviously our saucepan, which we didn't sell earlier, which we have now sold. And we have made some money. Right, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go back to home, and we're going to save, and then we can get on with the next few items to grab, which at this point you might actually have more days, more time with. Okay, so we're now home, so we're now going to go to bed, or sleep to the next day. So now it says any bills will be deducted on a Monday morning, or every Monday. Unfortunately, this is a bit bugged. It's actually doing it on a Sunday morning for some reason. They should hopefully fix it by the time you guys watch this. If not, it should hopefully be patched in the future. Now, as you can see here, it says all items outside of your warehouse and car will be cleared. So, like I did earlier with the statue, I'll just move it back. If you have it in here, it will be fine. If you have the items in the back of your vehicle, it will be fine. So, just to show as an example, I'm going to save it real quick, and we're going to get 2 different items out. So we'll get the bag out and the statue. So the bag, we're going to hopefully have placed with inside the architect mode. And the other item we'll have placed outside. And just for the sakes of this, we'll have one placed in the back of the vehicle. I know it sounds stupid, but I just want to show what will happen. So we're going to sleep. Now obviously at the end of each day you're going to see how many items you had found. Obviously the auctions you won, how much you earned in sales, how much you've spent, most from auctions and upgrades, and obviously the profit margin, so up or down, and what your best selling item was for that day. So we had a few tests. We obviously had that in here. And we had the bag. Now, unfortunately, and obviously the statue. So, do not put a bag in the architect area. Make sure if you're going to do it, you actually place the item like we should have done earlier. So, what I'm going to do is reload it. And now we're reloaded, we've got our items. So, if I went to this and place it down with architect mode instead, and now we go to sleep, the item is going to be there, as you can see. So yeah, back your vehicle, in your warehouse, or use the build or architect mode and place them that way. I have had a few times where if it's close enough down on the ground, it sometimes can count as being placed, but best idea, in your storage, back of your vehicle, or architect mode or build mode. It's a bit safer. Right. So now we're going to go find some more items so we can make some more money and get through the rest of this bit of the tutorial. So I'm going to drive to the next location and I'll be with you guys once we get there. Okay, so the first time we're going to get on our new day is this helmet. So just in case you guys are wondering where I'm at, there's a motel here, I'm just here, and there is a bridge. So we've only just come over the bridge for this helmet. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to fill up our gas, because if it starts beeping, it will be a bit irritating. But if you run out of fuel, your vehicle will go 10 miles an hour, and I don't want to be going slow. So we're going to quickly refuel. Once I've refueled, I'm going to go to the next location for the next item. Okay, so as you can see, we have a soccer ball just here. There's a normal quality, which I'm fine with. And just in case you guys are wondering, I'm right here. So we're not too far from a collector's area, and we're not too far from what's in the box auction area. Okay, and off to the next one. Okay guys, so in this location there are actually 3 items. I'll show you where I'm at. I'm next to the locksmith at the top here. And like I say, we've got 3 items. So the first item we have is just here. It's actually a coffee machine, which is broken, so we will not be selling that, but we'll grab it for now because we will need it for later on. And the next 2 items are actually in here, just kind of next to I'm for some reason stuck there. So we have this flower armchair, which we'll have to place as best I can. You'll do. And the sofa. So we'll just place that in there. For some reason I'm again stuck on the curb. Weird. Right, so I'm now going to head to the next location. Okay, so the next time we're going to be grabbing is the office cabinet. Perfect condition. Sweet. Now unfortunately my stacking skills isn't the best at the minute. It's terrible. So I'll try and get this stacked a bit better. Oh no. I'll sort out in a minute. Anyway, so the location for this is actually just here. So we're not too far from the church on the map. So you'll see it just around here. And for the sakes of me having to not say I'm going to go to the next location, we're just going to go across the road. We are not going to be picking up the coffin, which is to do with art and culture. We are going to be picking up the urn, which is in perfect condition. So we're going to grab this. I'm going to sort it onto my vehicle. And then I think there's one more location. If not, I'll see you guys when I'm at the shop. Okay, so we are now back at the shop. Unfortunately, I couldn't think of the other item. If there was one, I couldn't think of it. So we're going to place that there real quick. I'm going to get you out, and we're going to place you there. So we're going to sell all these items in the back of the boot, apart from the bad and broken ones. So, the helmet, the urn, the office cabinet, and the soccer ball. Now, as you may have noticed, we now have 2,000. Which you guys should have, roundabout. And also, we've got a bit of money in our bank, but we'll leave it there. So what we're now going to do is we're going to get tools, and we're going to do our fixing tool up to a level 2. Because if, like I said, we fix the broken, it'll go to a bad. But if we were to upgrade it, we can fix a bad up to a normal. Broken, up to a normal, and again, up to a normal. So already, it's increased the value of the item, and we get a bit more money for it. Which means any items that we've got back at our home will now fix up to normal and sell for a bit more money. So, because we're at this stage, I am going to grab the items from my house, and I'm going to get them back to the shop area. Okay, so what we're going to do is before we take these items over, is obviously I'm going to make sure I get them all fixed up to normal. And we're now going to put some items in the chest. Now, I will quickly go over a bug when we get to the shop with items in the chest. It's very weird. They should hopefully have this fixed soon. This might not happen if they have fixed it, but if they haven't fixed it, guys, I've got a workaround for it for you. So I will show you what that is once I get it there. So as you can see, there are items inside this chest. And I will definitely show you when we get back to the shop. So I'll see you when we get there. Okay, so before we get to the shop, as you may know, on the way to the shop there is a diner on the right. Just here. And behind this lorry, there's actually this fridge. Which we'll fix up to normal. And we'll take for some extra cash. Thought I'd mention that. We can now be at the shop. Now, I am going to say this before I do this because of a reason. Right, so as some may know, there is a bit of a bug with the chests. So let me just make sure I sell the other 3 items first. So there was that, and that. Now, as you can see, our guy here has it where he has these ticked, though they're inside the chest. Now, if I was to sell the chest, I didn't do it here. Sometimes these items go missing. And they're fine. Right, I'm going to hopefully bring the bug up. Okay, the bug didn't want to do it. Okay, sometimes when you sell a chest with items in it, these items will bug out. If it does happen, what you have to do is save the game, load the game back up, and these items you'll be able to move around and touch and then sell them. Unfortunately, it did happen to me earlier, but I don't seem to be able to get it done. We might get it done later on. We'll have to have a look. But if it does happen, I will show you what to do and what I'm on about. If it needs to be, I'll put it into this spot right now. As you may know, inside the chest, we have an item. Now, this item in the chest may get glitched out, so I'm going to hopefully see if this does. If it does, I will show you a workaround to unglitch the item. So we'll get the item verified. It will take 6 hours in game time and it's going to cost us 80, which is fine. Right, so did this item glitch out? It has. So as you may notice, we cannot pick that item up. And if we move the vehicle, it's going to be hovering there. So, to unglitch items, And yes, this will also happen if you sell the chest. If that was unlocked, I would have sold it in the shop. But if you sell a chest inside a shop, and then your items, like this, disappear from the list, you come back out and they're floating like this, you have to save the game. Which we've now done. And we now have to load it. And now that we load the game, we can pick the item up, and for some reason we have a sync with us. Why do we have a sync with us? Okay, so we've sold quite a few items, so there is one place we can go left to get a load of items to sell. Now we should have enough time to do this on this day, so I'm going to travel over to the locations. I will then show you where I'm at. Okay, so we're now at this place here. Now we're not going to be taking the unique item, but we are going to be taking the car battery. Just in case you guys are wondering where I'm at, I am right here in the farm area, next to the car shop, and obviously next to the farm shop as well. So I'll now go to the next location. Okay, so we are now at the next location. Obviously there's two silos. There is a barn split in half with, I guess, a little shed next to it. Now we are not going to be taking the TV camera, though it is legendary. We're going to take the chair and the hammer. Now, just in case you guys are still going to be wondering where I'm at, I will show once I've got these items in to the back of the truck. And we are right here. We are kind of close to our home we can buy later on in the rural corner in the farm area. And off to the next one. Alright, so this next item wasn't actually too far. We were literally just over there just a moment ago. So we are literally right here. I'll zoom out a little bit more so you can see where I'm at. And the item is a cultivator. So we're going to place you in there. And you sat pretty well. Right, let's go to the next spot. Okay, so we are now at the next location. We are actually in the fishing town area, or the dock area, depending on what you want to call it. We are at this house here. Okay. You're looking for this van, or camper van, or mobile home, depending on how you want to look at it. And we're going to instant sell these two, and we're going to pick up the cleaning supplies. Pretty simple, really. Right, so I'm going to put this in the back of the boot, and I'll meet you at the next location. Okay, so we're down on the docks, or the pier, depending on where you want to look at it. And we are next to this shop here. So you know exactly where we're at now. And there are two items here. And believe it or not, we are going to pick up the oxygen tank and the kayak, because it is rare. So that is the oxygen tank, and I think I'm going to have to keep moving these around actually a bit, to be honest. Oh, if it actually stands like that, that's actually going to be perfect. And we'll grab the kayak. Okay, let's throw you in there as best we can. And hopefully I can move to the next location without any problems. Alright guys, so we are now here at the next location, though this is going to be a little bit finicky, so we're going to move you out of the way. Now just in case guys, there is a legendary chair in there. I'm not going to take it, I'm just thought I pointed it out. Just in case you want something for your household, if you deal in business with the household. And we're going to be grabbing the fishing rod. We are not going to be grabbing the epic item, we are grabbing the fishing rod. And I will say whereabouts we are right now. So we are here by the lighthouse, and believe it or not, the next location is literally right next to it. So literally right here, because there are three items, as you can see, right there. So I'm just going to move the vehicle. I will re-grab the cultivator in just a minute. I'm going to park here because unfortunately you can't jump up here normally because it's a bit too short. So using your truck or vehicle makes it a lot easier to get up. So there are three items up here. There is another fishing rod, a different type. There is a fishing chair, which should fit there, and a camping cooler. So I'm going to stack you there. And now we'll re-grab the cultivator, we'll place it back on, and we've got one more location I definitely know we've got to go to. And then we can sell all these items and get through the tutorial. Okay, so the last item we're going to get is that globe. Everything's staying still, which is good. So we're going to try and place you here without anything going wrong. Or as best as I can. Thank you. I'll get in the vehicle so it doesn't glitch out. And the location where you're at for this globe is right here. So there is actually a tube to the right of me. Or behind me I should say, right there. So that is a good indicator just in case. And the item is on that table. So hopefully that will help you guys out. Right, so I think, if I remember rightly, that is the last item I need to get. I'm going to head back to the shop before it closes. And we're going to sell everything in our boot. And again, on the way back, please don't all glitch out. We're going to pick up these instant sales because these have actually respawned. Nothing's gone off. Right, so we've now made it to the shop after grabbing that instant sales. And we're going to sell everything that's in there, because everything there should be either perfect, good, or normal quality. Right, so we have now got 2,401 and obviously 430 in our bank. We now have nothing in our warehouse, but we're not level 10 exactly for the shop. Now obviously you guys may have actually done an extra auction. Unfortunately I was a bit rushed for time. So what I'm going to do is we're going to head home real quick. We're going to sleep and we're going to take part in an auction to get us to level 10. And just in case guys, just to let you know, we found 20 items. And quite a bit. Obviously we spent money because we got the fixing tool. And our highest item seller was the office cabinet. Right, so now we're going to hopefully take part in an auction. We're going to hopefully get it really cheap. And we should hopefully get to level 10. So I'll meet you at the auction. And we're now at the auction. Right, so we only want to try and spend as little as 400 if we can. Now hopefully we don't get the glitch where we can't take part. And that is fairly small and bad. I have no idea how much that's going to be. Oh. Okay, so we won that one. 168. Do the instant sales real quick. Get that out. Sell, 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 sell. Right, so we've now finally got a locked chest, so we will have to go over that. Just a moment. And what else do we have? Right, so everything we have here. Okay, we do have a rare item, so we can go over that. Which I don't think I've fully covered. But I can show. And believe it or not, this is actually a chest, a safe. Why are you keep rolling? Right, you go that way. Right, so the safe actually has something good in it. Ish. Which we can fix up to normal. We are going to do that. We will fix these up to normal quality. Now we've got a lock chest. I can actually explain that as well a bit. Right, so we will have to go to the locksmiths. Just in case I didn't go over this. A locksmith, you're looking for this icon, which I think I have mentioned. And our nearest one is actually here. Now, as you may have noticed, we have a rare chest. Now, we do not have a verification tool to do rare items. Now, I could spend the money for that, but we're holding back on that. So we will have to go to the equipment shop, which, luckily for us, is just over here. So equipment, so we can get this verified at the equipment shop. Yes, it will take a little bit of time, but it's going to be worth it. And before we leave, we're going to make sure we check. And it's just the rug it's picking up. Okay, nothing underneath the ground. Right, so we're now here. Let us sell the junk. So you can sell, 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 and you can sell. Now, as you may notice, you cannot sell an item that hasn't been verified. See? You cannot sell unverified items. Now, I could sell the chest, but because it's locked, I do not want to lose the contents that's in this chest. Now, yes, I could at this moment go in and grab a tool. Unfortunately, we're not spending the money on a lockpick. We're going to take it to the shop to get it lockpicked for us. There is a reason why. Right, so first things first, let's get this safe verified, which is going to take 3 hours. It's going to cost a little bit of money. Now, obviously, if it was unique, it would cost a bit more, and it'll take a bit more time. Same for legendary. And the lockpick is right here.
Yes, Chief.
Let's get you to lockpick that. And what we'll do, for the time being, because we are level 10, I'm going to wait for this to be done, and I'll be back with you guys. So, back in a moment. Okay, so as you can see, we now have the locksmith unlocking our chest. We do have an icon on the top of the screen saying locksmith or lockpick, which has a 1, so we've got him here. And obviously we do have it where we've got a message on our tab screen, which will go to journal. So it'll tell us where our verified items are, if they've been they've finally been verified, or in this case, even though item verified is actually verifying that it has been lockpicked. So we can get the item out. Now sometimes when you get an item back, it will drop in front of you. Don't worry, it does happen now and again, but usually they'll go to a designated spot, which it has landed in. And we got beach beer bottles. Okay. So we're going to close you. Going to throw you in the back. And we're going to take you to the shop. What happens? Right, I'm here to sell that. And the bottles. Now, we now have mostly enough to get the shop. But unfortunately, it's saying you do not have enough money. Need at least 2,500. The place you need the money isn't in cash, it's actually in your bank account. So we are going to transfer our cash into our account, which is now maxed out, and we are then going to buy at the shop, which we have done. Now it tells us to list an item and also to withdraw money. Now if we've got no money in here, we can just hit that and it counts for that. Now we do have an item, believe it or not, that has just been verified from our guy over here. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to get the item out. Didn't drop here, so it has dropped over here. We can now check what its value is and quality and fix it up, which wasn't a lot, to be honest. Didn't seem worth verifying it, but it helps out. Now, when it comes to your own shop owner, you can do one of two things. You can either throw the item in, or you can go up to the actual door and get them placed. Now, the guys, when you first buy the place, will not put them out and sell the items. You have to actually enable it here, so he can actually get them out. Right, there we go. That is completed, and now it's asking us to specialize in one area for our shop. Now we only have 444 in our account. We need 1,000. Now specializing in a field for a shop will mean it can sell that item. So say if we wanted the equipment, as in this chest, or save to sell for more, for at least 20% higher, we need to make sure we have it specified in it. But unfortunately at the minute it's going to cost us £1,000. Obviously we have employee, which says barter, so this is the chances of them having a more successful barter if a customer comes in and wants to barter for, we'll say, the safe. The next area is space management. So space management is to do with how spacious and how many items, how much room you have for items to sell on the shop floor. Unfortunately, you've got the standard amount, which, as you can see, 3 small and what they have here. But we can upgrade it to have more spaces to sell more items. Obviously, warehouse space is pretty simple. You know, upgrade it by 10, then you can upgrade it again to have 20. Marketing. This is how quick, or how much quicker, they will sell the item. So, as you can see, our safe at the minute has 1 hour and 16 minutes left before it will say it's ready to be sold. If we had it at 50%, this item may have already been ready to sell and would have been gone. So if you want the items to sell faster, obviously upgrading that area. Now, at the minute, I don't really have enough cash to actually do what I wanted to do because I'm a little bit short, to be honest. So, what I'm going to do, believe it or not, is I'm actually going to take out a loan to get this bit done. So I'm going to max out my loan. I'm going to max it to the amount of days. You don't have to do this. You could always just go and do an auction. I'm only taking out a loan to make this a bit quicker for you guys and a bit more simple. So I'm going to take out a loan out. Now, technically, I only need 700. So I'm going to max it out. I'm going to take out the loan. Yes. Got more than enough. We can pay back the loan a bit sooner, but we're not worried about that. Now, obviously, to do the upgrades, you need the money in your account. If you had it on your person, which we will do just in case. It will not accept it. Not enough money. So anything to do with upgrades for your business, or to buy a business, or to buy a house, you have to have the money in your account. Right, so, like I said, I'm going to specify in equipment, do the upgrades. Quest is done, and so, this tutorial. Right, so, now that we specified in equipment, we are going to remove that. He is then going to replace it somewhere. And as you can see, it used to sell for 25, it is now selling for 29. So again, it has gone up in price. Now, before anyone goes, well, hold on, you've only got like 144 cash left. You know, you're leaving us a bit short here. I'm actually going to show you where some items are, which are going to be equipment value, or equipment items, so you can actually make some money. So I'm going to head over to these locations, and I'll show you where to find some legendary equipment items for your shop to sell. Okay, so we're now on the other side of the main bridge. Just in case you guys wonder where I'm at, I am here, just like I was earlier. And there are actually two items around here. So the first one is actually a legendary item, which we will grab. It is money, going for 1,454. Perfect. And this is up to you. Or you can wait till you've got your repair tool to be perfect. We actually have an anchor. Now I am going to take this, just for the sake of the video. And I'm now going to go to the next location. Okay guys, so as you can hear, my fuel gauge is bleaking because I need to refuel. So I just thought I'd let you hear the fuel gauge going off at least once. And obviously I need to have cash in my person for the fuel. Because if not, I can't buy fuel without cash in my pocket, apparently. It's not like one of these card machine readers. Oh well, right, anyway, I'm heading off to the other location for some better items. Okay, so we have now turned up to the second item. As you can see, it is going to be, believe it or not, the telescope. And it is legendary, perfect quality. And it's going to go for 1,149. That's if we were to sell it ourselves. If it didn't want to get rid of my anchor. So just in case you guys are wondering where I'm at, I'm actually over here, next to the second locksmiths. There is this area. We're just at this house. So let me go pick up the anchor and then I'll get to the next location. Okay, so again, we are at the next item. As you can see, it is literally on the back of this car. Another bag of money. Again, this is all equipment items. And again, we are just over here. So we were only just over here a moment ago. So literally just the other side. Just here. And there is money. Okay, so we've got one more location to go to. I should make it there pretty quick, so I'll be there in a moment. Okay, so we're at our next location. We are at these houses here. Okay. And just in the back of all of this mess, there is an item. Aha, we have a missile. I only just remembered about this one. Oh, so there is actually one more item we can grab. So I just remembered about this missile as I was going along. I was like, wait, there's one more. Right. So now let's go pick up the final item that we can get for our shop. And we are at our final location. So we are over here at this lighthouse yet again, believe it or not. Thought the sunset would be kind of nice. And we'll just go around here. We have another telescope. Though technically the other one's more for looking at space and this is looking for distance. Yes, so that is another legendary item with quite a bit of money. Right, so let's try and head back to the shop before it gets to 9. We'll get these stored and we'll see how much our guy is going to put these items for. And again, I'm going to quickly pick up these bottles as well while I'm here. Why not? Bit of extra cash and a bit of extra money in my pocket. I'm going to need it. Right, so we are almost literally right back to where we need to be, so I'm not going to edit this bit out, hopefully. We're going to try and get these in here real quick. Store all. So, we have 2 money bags, an anchor, 2 different telescopes, and a missile. So, if the guy could get all these up before the shop shuts, so as you see, he is going to sell the money bags for at least 2,109 each. Let's see what else he gets out. He gets the anchor out, 638. Telescope, 1,667. No, the other telescope, 1,694. And he didn't get the other item out in time, I don't think. No, he got all of them out. Nope, he didn't get them all out. I think the missile has to go onto one of them spaces. So as you can see, because obviously we haven't got the market timing done, it is going to take a bit of time. 68 hours in-game time isn't too bad, but you think all these items selling for, I'm going to say almost, well, 2 of them do sell for 2,000, and the other ones, let's say what? That's another 2,000 between them two if we split that one in half, and whatever we get that one sold for. How much is that one anyway? 600, so maybe you'll sell it for about 800. So that's what? 8,600 cash in your pocket right after owning the shop? As long as you specified into a specific area for like equipment for him, you're going to make quite a lot of money by the end of it. Okay guys, so we are now done with the shop. So that is 8,600 roughly that we will make once all their items have sold. Yes, it's going to take a bit of time. Yes, I do have a loan to pay back because I did have to spend the money. If you guys didn't have to spend the money on the loan, fantastic. If you had to spend a little bit, it will happen. But after we've sold the first item, we should be able to pay that loan off basically instantly. So it's not too bad in my eyes. So at least I'm going to make at least about 8,000 profit within the first week. And we have a shop. So any items we now get from the auctions, we can put in our shop, and we can have them all at normal quality because our repair tool is level 2. So it means we are making bank and breaking even if we're getting to higher tier stuff. So like I say, we've gone over the shop, we've gone over the auctions, we have gone over the chests, we've gone over the verifications, and we've gone over the lockpicks. And I've shown you some items to be able to make some money, to be able to get through the tutorial within literally an hour and a half, because that's how long it's taken me just to get this video recorded. Anyway guys, hopefully you enjoyed. If you do have any questions or any comments, put them down in the comment section down below. I'll try and answer them as best I can. Anyway, I'll let you get off, enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of your time playing some Storage Hunter Simulator. Bye for now guys, enjoy yourself, and have a great day.